going on, everybody? Sunday night. Hopefully everybody has had a great weekend and that you're enjoying yourself to the best of your ability. Life's too short to be pissed and stressed all the time. This was not planned. I just thought it would be a fun little thing to do tonight. We haven't done many impromptu streams lately, and with Texas Chainsaw Massacre sort of at the forefront of the horror news and how much Halloween and Scream talk we've had lately, felt like an appropriate night for Mike and I to come on and discuss the three big slasher films for next year. What's going on, Mike?
Not much, man. Just can't believe it's Sunday already, and the work week is just hours in front of us. But good, solid weekend overall, and yeah, I'm glad we decided to jump on. Glad you decided to message me, man. I was thinking about when the next improv episode was going to be earlier. I want to say yesterday, so read my mind.
Oh, for sure. I'm always up for coming on and talking fandom. I have no idea what the hell my camera is doing with these lights. So apologies, people. I know sometimes they flicker like that, but they're getting a wicked glare right now. At least it's not the whole screen. The better looking guy's over there anyway. So
Stop.
So man, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre trailer dropped, and the release date dropped, and a few images dropped, and some articles dropped, and you were all over Netflix acquiring this film. I know there are some people out there that were of the belief that this was always supposed to be a Netflix film, and that's not the case at all. I've had a few people actually come to me within the last few days that didn't know that little detail, and the truth is it was sold to Netflix after the fact. And basically everything that's come out about this movie behind the scenes has not been very good. But Mike, what did you think of what we got to see?
Thought it was okay. It didn't make my top 10 list that we did on the last episode for most intrigued movies that I'm looking forward to seeing, and obviously we didn't have the images or the trailer, and even if we did, it probably still wouldn't make my list. But I can tell you what, I'm going to tune in. I'm going to check it out. I'm interested to see where they're going to go with this film. Everything that I've seen has been okay. I know everything that you kind of heard behind the scenes, you said has been bad. And there's a good chance that this movie will be bad, but I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to it. I want to be surprised. I don't think this is going to be a Scream situation for me. Like when they announced Scream, I wasn't looking forward to it. Up until the last 2 months, I hadn't been looking forward to it, and now we're getting closer to about a little over a month with that Scream release date. I am very looking forward to that movie. But when it comes to TCM, not so much. But I think everything was okay. Oh, none of that like deterred me from not wanting to watch the movie. So, like I said, I'll tune in, but nothing over the top, honestly.
I really want to like this movie, even though I've seen absolutely none of it. I just like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I like the original film. I like the 2003 Michael Bay film. I'm pro Texas Chainsaw Massacre for sure. And when the movie was first announced, I was like, okay, awesome. We're taking the Halloween formula, I guess. We're going back and doing a sequel to the original, and okay, I'm on board. They cast an actual actor, not just a stunt performer, to play Leatherface in this as well, with good reason. In terms of the overall narrative of the movie. However, man, look, I'm always of the belief when there's so much smoke coming out of one place that there's got to be fire somewhere. Like,
Agreed.
If you hear the same thing about the same thing from different people who are in the know, it's hard for me to sit here and be like, yeah, maybe they're all wrong about this movie. But I can't see that being the case, and it's a bummer. I'm still going to watch it. gonna watch it probably the first night it comes out, and we'll probably cover it here on the channel. I think it's February 18th. Is that it? Somewhere in around there?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
So,
yeah, I don't know. I have a love-hate relationship with Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It kind of reminds me of the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, and along with the Friday the 13th. So many films, only one or two that I really enjoy. And honestly, probably one of my favorite Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies is the remake with Jessica Biel. That was probably my favorite, if I'm being honest. I got love for the original, but I don't know. I was that was probably one of the last horror franchises that I was brought on to and really checked out. So I don't know, man. We'll see.
Joel says, by the way, Q&A tonight, guys. So feel free to send in whatever questions and our comments you want, and we'll answer them within reason, as many as we can. If you want to support the channel, number one way to do that is by joining up on Patreon. That's at the bottom left, patreon.com/Fandom Empire. Next weekend, Sunday night, Lambkin Lane returns. And then in early January, the debut of our brand new Halloween podcast exclusive to Patreon. 31. That's what we're calling it. 31, a Halloween podcast. And it's with Mike and myself. And I can't wait for everybody to have a look at that. Basically, what it's going to be is every other week, if you subscribe to Patreon, Mike and I are going to come on and do a 20 or 30-minute episode of 31, the Halloween podcast. And it could be about anything. Literally, you might get a 30-minute episode just about Bud in Halloween 2 at one point, or Bucky in Halloween 4. It's going to be that type of deep dive Halloween style podcast. And again, you can get that if you sign up for a Patreon over there. Eventually, all patrons will get it, but if you want to see it when it comes out, you need to be part of Lambkin Lane and or higher. So be on the lookout for that. 31, the Halloween podcast, starting in January. And no, it does not affect Lambkin Lane, so you still get all of that good shit. Man, I'm a big fan of the 2003 Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake. I know there are people that can't stand that film. I don't know if it's just their anti-Michael Bay bias or what. I think it's a pretty good horror movie that has some pretty good scares in it.
Yeah, I do too, man. I think we agree on the Texas Chainsaw remake and the Friday the 13th remake. I thought both were very good remakes. Wasn't so high on the Friday the 13th. Nightmare on Elm Street remake. But when it comes to those two films, I thought they were phenomenal. I thought the storyline was good in the remake. I thought the characters were way better in the remake. And I don't know, it was probably the second film that I saw in the franchise. I saw the original and then I saw that one. Not one of my favorite franchises, to be honest, but I don't know. That second one was the 2003 one was really good to me. So I don't know. I mean, what did you think of the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
I don't like it as much as the 2003 movie. For me, the 2003 movie is definitely it's way too dark in here. Sorry. The 2003 movie is, how do I put it? Far superior to the original, in my opinion. And yet I still find a lot of nostalgia in the original movie and enjoy it quite a bit. And as much as I like those two movies, boy, does the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise have a whole lot of misses in it.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely agree with that. And I can only pick two movies that I enjoy out of that franchise, and it's the original and then the 2003 one. Outside of that, I thought the other ones were dog shit. To be fair, and I can't. Let's see, off the top of my head, I would say that out of all the horror slashers, that's probably tied with Child's Play. But even with Child's Play, like I can get down with. I didn't really like the third one, but I could still watch it and be kind of entertained. I don't know if I can find a third movie in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise that I can have that minimum type feeling that will keep me kind of engaged into it.
Film Gordon says, "Sup, guys? What's going on, man? We had a good weekend. Everybody's safe and sound, hopefully." Oh man, I can't get behind Child's Play. I just can't. I can't do it. Did you end up watching any of the TV series? I have not. I seen like 10 minutes on YouTube, and I was just like, "Yeah, this isn't for me."
Yeah, I thought it was really good. I'm still about 3 episodes behind. They only did 8. So I'll probably catch up with that over the time of this week. But I just started watching 2 new shows that I don't know. I'm kind of behind on TV shows that I want to watch, so I got to start watching them now. Like I'm on episode 3 of Yellowstone. That starts
man.
off slow, but I heard it gets really, really good. I don't think it starts off too slow where you're not engaged. Like it does start off slow, but
We've been told to start that for a while now, and I just haven't gotten around to it. Eventually, going to do it.
Yeah, I mean it's good so far, and you know everybody I talk to that love it say it starts slow, and it is slow, but I think that not slow to the point where you lose interest. So I think that's a good one to start. And I started watching Manifest. That's pretty good.
We only had 1 season, right?
No, they had 3, and then they were canceled by I think it was 3. It's either 3 or 4 seasons they had, and they let that last season, whichever one it was left on a huge cliffhanger, and then NBC canceled it.
Oh,
And there was so much uproar about it, and Netflix ended up picking it up for one final season. So that's being filmed now. So I started watching that, and that's pretty good so far. But yeah, I plan on watching the rest of the Chucky TV show. I thought it was good. I thought it was a good sign for them to be picked up for a second season. I don't know. There's not that many horror franchises or horror TV shows out there that really succeed, and it's good to see Chucky do that. And I'm not the biggest fan of that franchise. I really like the first 2, but outside of that, I could honestly care less.
I'm pretty sure Mike Flanagan has a couple of TV projects that come out next year too. So I'm gonna take a second and try to pull these up here. I believe one of them was hinted at during Midnight Mass. It's like Midnight Mass was hinted at during.
Yeah.
Oh man, what's that movie called?
And I guess I should rephrase that. Like it's a good sign that Chucky was renewed for a second season, being that it's on a network television. Network TV, if it doesn't do the numbers, if it doesn't do the ratings, most likely you're out of there. Like they don't play around with that. So it was pretty good for them to pick up that second season.
Yeah, Flanagan's got something called The Midnight Club that's coming out next year, and The Fall of the House of Usher. So Flanagan will be busy as well, and I really liked Midnight Mass, and I liked The Haunting of Bly Manor. I've only watched the first episode of Hill House so far, but yeah, I like what Flanagan does. So for the most
absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I've liked everything that he's put out. So
Pete asks, when do you guys think that there will be a new Friday the 13th film in cinemas? I don't think it's imminent, but I think it's a lot closer than some people think.
Yeah, I agree. I'll say you'll see that before you see even with the lawsuit finally being settled. I mean, I don't know if that case was appealed or not, so you got to go through all that stuff too. But I think there's a good chance you see that before you see a Nightmare on Elm Street film.
Yeah,
in my opinion. So
I agree.
Yeah, I would agree with Sean. Probably sooner than you think. Probably not as soon as you want it to be, but it all depends on how that court system goes. If the appeal fails, and however, when it's done, like when it's officially done, you're not going to have to wait too much long after that. Blumhouse will probably be all over that as soon as they're able to, or somebody's going to be all over it as soon as they're able to. So I'm sure there's all kinds of stuff out there. If not ready to go or ready to be thrown at the wall, it's in the making already with the news of the lawsuit coming to an end. So
Entertainment Wizard says just keep Friday the 13th away from Blumhouse. I would have disagreed with that for the longest time, and I still probably, from a financial perspective, disagree with that. But it does seem like Blumhouse is fixated on putting a lot of these social justice commentaries at the forefront of their movies. I'm not saying that's wrong. I just think there are certain movies that should be done with and certain movies that shouldn't be done with. And I think it's been eye opening in Halloween 18 and really eye opening in Halloween Kills. And the one thing I can tell you definitively about Halloween Ends, and it's not a big secret, there'll be more of that in Halloween Ends, and probably more so at the forefront than it has been to date. So I do think that becomes an issue. I spent a little bit of time with my cousin Ray, who's been on the channel a few days ago, and we both sort of sat there and we sort of looked back at Halloween Kills while we were in the car and started talking about it. And um, the one thing that really became apparent to me, anyway, um, was when you let go of the recency bias of the film, and this goes for any film, and you think back on it after a couple months have passed, and you go, okay, what movie am I going to want to watch more a year from now? Halloween Kills or the original Halloween movie? And the truth is, probably the original Halloween movie. Same with Halloween 2, same with Halloween 4. I'd probably want to watch all those movies before Halloween Kills. And I do think one of the issues with that is the social justice commentary that's going on with these movies. Again, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I totally understand the need to want to bring awareness to things. But specifically in Halloween Kills, when you look back at the scripts that were written for the movie and what came out on screen, that stuff is in the script too. Make no mistake about it. But it does not take center stage the way it does in the movie. And they've made it clear they're going to continue to do that. And for some people, that's going to be great. But for others, it's going to take them out of it a bit. And I do think it's the one big thing weighing down this trilogy. Any thoughts on that, Mike?
No, I agree 100% with you. Like, I understand what they were doing with the hospital scene and Kills. Like, I get it. But honestly, I sit back and I also think about if they just took that scene out, would I like the movie even more? And the answer would probably be yes, to be honest. I mean, it wasn't a killer for me. I just could have done without it. And I'm somebody who really likes Kills. I gave it like an 8.5 out of 10. And I watched it the other night, and I still feel the same about it. Now I'm like Sean, I would watch the original, I would watch 2, I would watch 4, I would watch H2O, and then that's when it would probably be between Kills 18 and The Curse. That's when on what I would want to watch. So I agree with you, and I've heard some of the same things you have, and maybe that's why I'm not excited for Ends. I think Ends will be the worst of the 3. I hope I'm very wrong. I really do. I don't want the trilogy to go out in bad shape or bad form or anything like that. Now, granted, they'll make their money. And in their eyes and Universal's eyes, Blumhouse's eyes, it was a success because all they really care about is what they're getting back in their pocket. And Kills did phenomenal, despite being still in a pandemic and despite being released on Peacock. Kills did phenomenal, and I'm sure Ends will do pretty well, pretty damn good, if not the same. I mean, it's that Halloween. It's in that title is going to attract people. So I don't know. I just feel like I'm going to be disappointed in Ends, and my expectations are very low for Ends. They're not as high as they were for 18, and definitely not as high as they were for Kills. So maybe because my expectations are so low, I'll end up saying that was a solid movie. But obviously we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, and I'm someone that's highly critical of movies and very picky with what I watch. I know Kieran comes on here and says the same thing. I'm more likely to go watch a TV series I've already seen 5 or 6 times over again and watch it again for rewatch value than I am to try something new, because I just feel like there are way more misses than hits with movies and TV series.
And I'm the same. I'm the same way. Like, I've been hearing about Yellowstone now for almost 6 months, and I've watched. Okay, I've watched One Tree Hill since then. I've seen One Tree Hill plenty of times. I've
I've
watched
seen it
Dawson's
twice through, and I've been tempted to watch it again. I really do like Tree Hill.
I watched Dawson's Creek again. I've watched Sons of Anarchy again. And I think that's all I've watched this year as far as reruns. I think I watched season 3 of Stranger Things again. But I'm like, just like Sean said, I'm more tempted to go, like, I'll be in bed and I'm like, I really want to start Yellowstone, but yet I turn on an episode of Tree Hill, and by the time I know it, it's 1:00 in the morning. I got to go to bed, and that's just like a repeat. So I finally sat down. I was like, I'm gonna watch Yellowstone, damn it, and I finally did. So once I'm in there, I'm good because I want to come home and I want to watch it. But
It's the committing
just,
to do it.
It is.
Like I didn't get to Midnight Mass as quickly as I wanted to, but once I finally committed, it was like,
Yeah,
you get a couple episodes into that little mini series. It's like, oh, okay, I got to find out what happens next now. And I don't know, the miniseries formula kind of works for me, to be honest. I really like what they've been able to do with that, and what Flanagan's been able to do. Sean Bat in the chat says, love Bly Manor, and I think Hill House was even better. I've only seen one episode of Hill House. I know Mike said something similar, I believe. I loved Bly Manor, though. I thought it was fantastic. And honestly, I think the only project I've seen from Flanagan that I'm kind of in on was Gerald's Game. And when I first seen Gerald's Game, I was for it. And then we tried to watch it again a couple months ago. And some of the subject material, I get it, sometimes that's in movies. It's a hard watch, and a hard topics to deal with. So it's not something you really want to go back and watch again. Like, I love Saving Private Ryan. I think it's a great movie. But I'm not going to watch that movie, twice a year or anything. It's a hard watch because, a lot of that shit actually happened or stuff similar to it. So, Shannon wants to know if we will get another season of Hannibal ever. I have never once talked with Mike about Hannibal. Can I just say Mads Mikkelsen is fantastic as Hannibal Lecter. The cast for that series is great. I didn't like the last season that came out of it. I kind of thought that the last season was a little goofy and silly. But other than that, I really enjoyed Hannibal. And I was surprised that it ended where it did. I thought that show would continue. I know there's been rumors that it would continue for forever now, but it hasn't come to be yet. Mike, thoughts on Hannibal?
never seen it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, never
Really?
seen it. No. Is that a? I'm guessing that's a list adder then.
In my opinion, yeah.
Okay, I'll do it.
It's
I mean, I enjoyed
creepy.
I enjoyed the movies. I know Hannibal was actually filmed here in Richmond, Virginia, where I live. So, yeah, I enjoyed the movies. I just never thought about giving the show a watch. So,
Man, I'm probably going to get crucified for saying this, especially because of who plays him in the movies. I think the show is better. I truly believe that.
that's fair. I mean, I was never like a huge fan of the movies to begin with, but
No, but a lot are. That's for sure.
that's true.
What else do we got here? I got a list, man. I know there's a bunch of questions in the chat, and we'll get to some of them as we go here. But I just pulled up a list of the, what is it? The 26, does it say? 26 most anticipated horror movies for 2022. Now, Mike and I didn't go into the stream with a plan, but I feel the need to read off this list and see if anything sparks a conversation. I'll start with the lesser knowns and go up the list here. And by the way, Mike and I just went over this. The December 21st episode of Fandom Empire Live on the Tuesday night will be our top Christmas movies of all time. But it's also going to include a worst Christmas movie list of all time as well. And it requires you to have seen them, the people that are participating anyway.
You want to talk about starting a fight?
Oh, yeah. So that's going to be an interesting episode. And then the next week on the 28th of December, we will be doing our most anticipated films of 2022. So that's kind of like a part 2 to this conversation tonight.
I finally started working on that list, or kind of looking at it, getting an idea.
I have not. All right, let's see. So The Devil's Light, I've never heard of that. It releases February 25th. Terrifier 2 comes out next year. I've never even seen the first one. Same, Mike?
No.
Evil Dead Rises, HBO Max 2022. We have the Hellraiser, I assuming this is a movie, coming to Hulu in 2022.
For some reason, I thought that was a TV show, but I might be wrong.
I think there's 2 projects in the works. I think there's a movie and a TV show, but I could be wrong on that if someone in the chat wants to clarify it. Jeepers Creepers Reborn, first of a planned trilogy that doesn't involve Victor Salva.
Stop, please.
No more ring the bell.
Man, I love the first one. That's still a go-to watch for me. The second one I can even watch, but after that, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, nah.
Was Justin Long in the first one?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh wow, that is old.
Yeah.
Oh wow. The Banquet, Moonfall, Stoker Hills, Deepwater. None of this is really appealing to me. There's one that's called Don't Worry, Darling, that's getting a lot of hype. It stars Harry Styles, Gemma Chan, and Chris Pine. So I'm guessing it's the cast that's getting the hype on that one. What else do we got here? The Northman. It's from the director that did The Witch in the Lighthouse. Heard great things about The Lighthouse. Firestarter. Blumhouse is rebooting the 1984 film of the same name based off Stephen King's novel. Zac Efron stars as Andrew McGee.
I think he's an underrated actor.
I did hear this was going to be a horror movie. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Even though it's obviously an MCU film, apparently it's going to be horror based, and I don't know how much I would read into that. The Black Phone with Ethan Hawke looks fantastic in my opinion. This is one that I want to see. Have you seen the trailer or anything for this yet, man? They showed, at least in our screening, they showed it before Halloween Kills.
Same. That's the first time I saw it. So, I talked about it last show because it is actually my second most anticipated film for next year. Like, I'm that excited about it. It looks really, really good. I remember when we were expecting a new trailer, a second trailer for Halloween Kills at one of the events, and obviously they showed it, or they showed something, but everybody was talking about this movie called The Black Phone by Blumhouse, and it was just like the big buzz from Universal, and I was like, man, what the hell is that? What the hell is that? And I finally saw the trailer, and I was just blown away. Like especially when I saw it in the theater, man, it looks really, really good. I like Ethan Hawke. I think he's going to do great in it, and I think it's going to be a really, really good film. Now I have high expectations for it, so we'll see how that goes. But I think it's going to be a good one. I'm very looking forward to that. It's different.
I mean, I'd never heard anything about it until I seen the trailer, and when I seen the trailer, I thought it was very well put together. It looks super low budget, dark, gritty, and yet the story seems compelling. So, to me, that checks enough of the boxes for me to want to, go spend $12 or $13 to go see it.
Yeah, and I like what you said. Low budget, kind of gritty. That's kind of what made me fall in love with Stranger Things that first season. It was just like, I mean, now they're just obviously they've made so much money. Each season keeps getting bigger and bigger, which is fine. But there's something about that first season, that low budget, nothing too crazy, just your local neighborhood kids. I mean, it's just, I don't know, something about just the simplicity of things really attracts to me.
What's up, Zach? Hopefully all's well with you, man. I know I'm behind in the chat. I'm trying to catch up. Bear with me. What else is on here? Violent Night. I had not heard of this before. Right now, man, it's set to release next December. It's like a Christmas-based horror movie, and it stars, you were just mentioning Stranger Things, David Arbor. So I'm looking forward to
Interesting. I thought he did good in he was good in Black Widow, but I'm trying to think of what else he's been in. I don't think he's been in too much, but I think he's a good actor. We'll see how that goes.
Jordan Peele's next movie is Nope, and it's starring Stephen Yeun from The Walking Dead. I don't know anything about it.
Me neither, but I think that's an actual Jordan Peele film. I know
Yeah,
people
it's not
got
just
that
his name
mixed
attached to.
yeah, like Candyman was. Like, I really enjoyed Candyman. I thought Candyman was a solid, good movie, but it just made me mad that people kept saying it was a Jordan Peele film. It's not. It wasn't. And I like Jordan. I like his films now. They make me think a lot, but um, I don't know. Candyman is not Jordan Peele's film. I'll say that.
When I think Jordan Peele was he involved in Get Out? I'm pretty sure he was. I'm pretty sure
Yeah, his movie was his actual movies were
Get Out
that
and
co-
Us, right? Or no, you
get out and us, get
Us.
out and us.
Yeah.
Yeah, which both I thought were really good. It's just I feel like he overthinks things too much and makes the audience think too much. Especially like I understood a lot of what Get Out was, so I enjoyed that from the jump. But Us, I walked out. That was good, but it was kind of confusing. And then I kind of read an article that broke everything down, and it made a lot more sense and made the movie a lot better, in my opinion. But I just think when you do stuff like that, that's a little too much. Now, maybe I just didn't get it. Maybe other people got it more. Maybe it worked for them, and unlike me. So I don't
know. What else do we have on this list here before we get to more questions? But yeah, Nope. I'm looking forward to Nope, man. I have no idea what it's about, but because it's an actual Peele film.
Did you enjoy his first two?
I loved Get Out. I thought Get Out was fucking amazing. I thought Us got a little complicated at times.
Yeah, it did.
And by the time it gets to to me, this is probably to sound deranged. Get Out was actually believable to an extent. You had to sort of, suspend your belief a little bit in areas. But I thought that Us got to a point where, it was entertaining. I felt like those movies start off grounded in reality, and I kind of thought that he lost reality by halfway through Us. And I still really liked the film, but to me, I was expecting something to even top Get Out, and I think it falls short of Get Out, personally.
Did you, when you watched Get Out, did you know the girlfriend was involved in some type of way, fashion or form, or did that kind of surprise you?
So I didn't, but I remember watching it with Jade and my cousin and his wife, and I don't remember, but one of them pointed something out early in the movie, and none of them had seen it, that made them sus about her. And
okay.
And so they were onto it. I was not. I can't say that I was.
Hey, at least you're honest, though.
She would have fucked me, and not in the good kind of way. Not that I'd be interested in that, because I'm sure Jade's watching.
But I will be.
Okay, I have something to say about this one. Sorry, Johnny R says, I know it was short, but did you guys like the Spiderverse teaser? I have not seen it yet because I want to do a trailer reaction to it. And tomorrow you should see trailer reactions come out. I've already recorded the one for Texas Chainsaw Massacre, so I'm hoping to get that one and Spiderverse out tomorrow.
I am so excited.
I mean, the big thing from Spiderverse, you didn't need to see the trailer to see it making news, is it's part 1 of 2 movies. So
yeah, I mean, I had Spiderverse number 2 on my Spider-Man list, so I'm excited.
I think you have a right to be excited. Where are we here? There we go.
How long do you think they'll make before they make a live action Miles Morales movie? If they do. That's
put me on the spot here, man. So I don't. Okay, we're getting into like rumor, spoilery type territory, specifically with the question that's up on screen here too. So I cannot tell you for certain that Miles Morales is in or not in Spider-Man No Way Home. That is one thing that seems to be left up in the air.
Man, I will tell you what. I don't know. I have the perfect kid to play him too. keeps coming to my head. So I thought about that, like the age, the look. Interesting.
I could see him being introduced in Spider-Man No Way Home. And then if they're ever going to kill a Peter Parker, I think it'll be Tom Holland's one in the next set of movies he gets. And then you could hand it off to Miles Morales. So I still think it's a while away before he's like the centerpiece of a live action movie. But who knows? He could be in Spider-Man No Way Home. I will tell you this, though. And we've been saying that at the channel for a while. Toby and Andrew are in Spider-Man No Way Home. And none of us have seen the movie, so we don't know for certain. But, I mean, you have Tom Holland doing intros to interviews with the rest of the cast going, he's hyping up the movie, and it's like, oh, your fan theories are way off. Or are they? And they're in the movie. Enjoy the movie. It's coming soon. And we're going to have a preview episode of this movie on Fandom Empire Live that week. And as long as Mike is up for it, and I think you're seeing it on the Thursday, right?
6:30, I think.
Yeah,
I had options from like 3 to 6, but I gotta work, so
I think a few of us that night will be doing a spoiler review of the movie. So
I mean, I'll hop on, but I'll tell you what, I am not getting on the internet that day until I see the movie. I mean, I obviously already know the main spoiler, or if you want to call it that now, but if they do throw like a Miles Morales in there, like I don't want to know that.
I think there's more. I think there's more that even like leakers and scoopers haven't gotten a hold of. And do I think it's as big as the big two that they've tried to hide and really haven't done a good job at all on hiding it? No, I don't think it's anything that'll be as big as that. But I think there's something else in the movie, maybe a couple things they're trying to keep really well hidden, because, I mean, the whole idea that they only showed 40 minutes to critics and press, I get what they're trying to do, but in my opinion, that is wrong. You're going way too far now to protect your leaks, in my opinion. And if you can't trust certain critics or press members, then they shouldn't be at your screenings anyway. So I don't agree with that, because I don't think you can properly judge a movie at how long is this movie? 2.5 hours? So like not even quarter of the film. Like how can you judge the movie off of that? I can't. Not properly. I'm sure there'll be people that defend this, to their last breath, but I think it's wrong. And we know they're in the fucking movie. Give it up. So that's my belief why there's got to be something that we don't really know. But yeah, I'm still going in with fairly low expectations, though. I know how much we're supposed to see said other characters in the movie, or at least what's been reported out there. And I'm going in expecting even less than that, so that if it is less than that, I'm not disappointed. So go enjoy a live Spider-Verse movie that nobody thought was possible 2 years ago. So would be my advice. Sean Pat says Mads is amazing. Became a bit too artsy in the 3rd season. Mike, you have to watch it. It did, but you know what it also reminded me of? It reminded me of Grand Admiral Thrawn from Star Wars, who is conveniently going to be played by Mads Mikkelsen's brother, Lars Mikkelsen. So small world. Dean said 26. I didn't know there were that many coming out. Well, by the sounds of half of them, there should be about half that many coming out. Let's see, what else do we have here? Troy Grubb says Black Phone looks like it might be one of the best Blumhouse movies in a while. Liked the trailer. I like the trailer too.
I think it has a good chance to being better than Kills. Ooh.
Harbor was in the remake of Hellboy. I've yet to see that. How was that? Have you seen that?
I haven't seen it. He was, though. I haven't seen it, though.
Sean says, I don't enjoy Peele films. It's too much, too in your face every time. See, to me, when you go see a Jordan Peele film, you're expecting that. You're expecting that type of commentary to be at the forefront. You don't necessarily expect that if you're going to watch Nightmare on Elm Street or Halloween or Friday the 13th. And I'm not saying that you can't have some of that in those films, but it can't be at the center. And I mean, fucking look at the marketing for Halloween Kills. Evil Dies Tonight is literally over everything. I have it on shirts, for fuck's sakes. So, but I get it. It's not for everybody, and that's totally understandable. That's why there's so many different genres of movies, and you like what you like, man. Nothing wrong with that. Matt Whitfield in the house. Mr. Whitfield. Hang on. Where are we here? I'm not big on the Spiderverse stuff. So in a live action, who would you cast? I'm assuming he means Miles Morales.
Yeah, I responded back to him. I would do Caleb McLaughlin. He's from Stranger Things. He's perfect age, perfect look. I mean, I don't know if Sean can pull up an image of him or not, but I mean, I think that he would do good. And obviously, when you go into hair and makeup and stuff like that, I mean, he's 18 right now. But yeah, I mean, I think he would think he'd be perfect.
Awesome. I'll let you throw the backlash at Mike or at Matt. I saw a Peele movie and fell asleep. Ask Mike. What were we just talking about with this?
Candyman is not a fucking Peele movie. And we had this conversation right after the movie. Were you sleeping during the conversation? Man.
Justin Smith says they would cast someone older. That wouldn't surprise me if they casted someone in their mid-20s and tried to pass them off as 16, 17 years old.
But I mean, if they want to, it depends on how soon they do it. I mean, if they want to wait, 3 or 4 years, Caleb would be 23, 24. So
I know this won't excite some, but the one I've heard about possibly getting another movie is Andrew Garfield. So it would make sense. He was supposed to get a third movie. I'd be down for it. But right now, their main focus is Tom Holland. So good.
You think he's going to get all 3 of the next ones?
I think there's 3 more movies to do with Holland for sure.
Yeah.
But whether anybody else is involved in those movies or not remains to be seen. It's just the beginning of the multiverse stuff. Remember, this is opening up all over the MCU. So, so many possibilities. Maybe Logan will show up in it, and Hugh Jackman will just show up with a microphone and drop it, and just be like, "I'm back."
I'm not gonna lie, I'm behind. I haven't seen all the Marvel films.
Sound Painter Studio wants to know if anybody has heard that Halo is getting its own TV series. I didn't know where, but I knew it was getting a TV series. Yes.
Yeah, I saw
that. It sounds like Amazon just blew their brains out over a Mass Effect series. So, and I mean, that's not completely unheard of for Amazon, considering they just blew their brains out over a Lord of the Rings series. So, content is king, and when they want it, they will pay for it. That's typically how it works. 3 more movies on this. Sorry, that's a lie. There's 5 more movies on this list. Hocus Pocus 2 came in at number 5. I have no interest in this movie, but others might for nostalgia reasons.
It's going to be hard to top the first one.
Morbius is on the list. We spoke about that the other day. I do think Morbius looks quite good. Not sure I'll see it in theaters, but it looks good.
Agreed. Same.
Number 3 on the list, surprisingly, is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which we spoke about earlier. What, in terms of what they showed in the trailer, Mike, I know you talked about it a bit off the top, but maybe recap here briefly. What did you think about what we did get to see? Because in my opinion, I watched it, and to me, it was still better than giving away the whole movie in a 2.5-minute trailer. But that trailer reeked of, oh man, we need to make the transitions really long and have big words pop up on the screen several times and not show very much of this movie.
I'll be honest with you. So I watched the trailer. I had to watch the trailer on mute in a meeting, so I didn't get to experience it. So if you want to talk more about it, you can. But I definitely saw the images first, and then I saw the trailer when I was in a meeting. And then my weekend's just been so busy, I haven't had a chance to go back and watch it. So
I didn't like it. If I'm being honest, it reeks of something that's trying to hide how bad it is. I'm hoping I'm wrong, because I really really want to like this movie. I liked the idea about casting an actual traditional actor as Leatherface rather than just a stunt performer. But man,
Well,
if someone gave me $1,000 and I had to bet one way or another, I would bet that
good.
it's going to be
No,
bad. I would bet
same.
it's going to be very, very bad.
I mean, it could be a film where the storyline is trash, everything about it is trash, but we walk out saying Leatherface was decent. Leatherface was good.
The
Kind of like we
interest-
did with the remake of Friday the Third. I mean, the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street. I didn't like it, but I thought James, what is it? James Early or Erie, who played Freddy.
Oh, Jackie Earle Haley.
Yeah, exactly what Sean said. I thought he did good. It's Freddy. I don't think anybody else could have pulled it off. Obviously, to me, I don't think anybody will top Robert Englund. That's just my opinion. But I think he did a great job. I just didn't like the movie. So it could be a situation where the movie is trash, but we like Leatherface, or Leatherface was done very well. Just like I know a lot of people hate Kills, but I have yet to see one person trash James Jude Courtney as Michael Myers.
Yeah, I don't think they have to go hand in hand. I think you can have a good performance in a bad movie or a good movie and a bad performance. I think those happen in movies. But yeah, I don't know. I don't have a whole lot of faith in it. I wish I did. I don't. Number 2 on the list is Halloween Ends. Halloween Ends did not take the top spot on this list.
I didn't think it would. I think the number one movie on the list is not the highest amongst horror fans, but I think overall, as a general for audiences, I do think that movie has a chance to do better than Ends. I would say Kills, but I don't know because Kills did so much better than what I thought. I don't know.
Yeah, Kills did better than what I thought it would do in theaters too, although it did fall off
Yeah, it did.
a decent bit. You have Ends coming in at 2. You have Scream coming in at number 1. I'm just going off of the things that we've heard behind the scenes. I have way more confidence in Scream being a better put together movie than Halloween Ends. And that's a scary thought because I never thought I would take any Scream movie and be like, yeah, that's got a better shot at being good over any Halloween movie. I never thought I would say that. And here I am saying that. I hope I'm wrong, though, for the record. And by the way, I'm still fully aware that I could leave Scream going, yep, the marketing, while it was amazing, suckered me in and it was shit again. So I am kind of half expecting that, but wow, do I not have very much faith at all in Halloween Ends. Also, really quickly here on Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I could be wrong about this. Maybe we can have Mike dig into it. I believe when Netflix purchased the film, Netflix also has been able to go in and make their own cut of the film. So it's not like they're just purchasing what was done. I'm 99% sure all this time they've been in the editing room with the movie, making their own cut of the film, trying to salvage what they could.
100%. They wanted, if the film was going to remain the same, to be released this year, but having those rights to edit the film whichever way they wanted to, obviously Netflix wants to edit it the best way they can with what they have. So they're taking their time to make that happen, because at the end of the day, whether if you don't do your digging, you're just going to think that this is a Netflix film, and Netflix knows that, and they don't want to put out shitty stuff. So this movie coming in, Netflix got it and was like, well, this movie's kind of shitty. We're going to do our best to clean it up the best way that we can. I mean, that's kind of basically how it went. So,
yeah, I totally believe that. It doesn't surprise me. Scream's number 1 on this list. It really doesn't. And even though the last 2 movies have been just horrific in my opinion, and even the first one for me doesn't really hold up, the marketing behind Scream, if you're just looking at marketing compared to what Universal did with Halloween Kills, I think Scream marketing has been universally better than Halloween Kills, pun intended.
Hell of a lot better. I mean, I'm somebody who enjoys the first 2 Scream films. I think I like the 3rd film. I know a lot of people don't. I hated the 4th film. So I do like right here. That's Ghostface right there. Like I enjoy the Scream franchise. Like, but Halloween is and will always be superior to me overall as a franchise. But I'm also going to be honest in saying I agree with Sean. I think Scream has a really good chance of being better and doing better than Halloween Ends. That's something like Sean said. I didn't think that I would say, because although I like the Scream films, it's hard to hope, put them above the Halloween franchise, in my opinion. So, but I definitely agree with Sean. I think the marketing has been phenomenal. When they announced another Scream, I was one of the people that were like, "Oh fuck, great, another Scream." Honestly, who gives a shit? And then we're a month away, and I'm so excited for this film. It's what did it come in? Number 1? I think it was number 1 on my most. No, it wasn't. It was number 3 on my most anticipated films for 2022 because the marketing has been so fucking phenomenal, so
Are
good.
you giving away a list that we're not doing till the 28th right now? That's the second time you've given away part of that list.
No. I'm talking about what we did for our most anticipated films of 2022. The one we did on last show.
Did I do the wrong list? I thought that's what we were doing at the end of the month.
No, at the end of the month, we're doing our top films of the year.
Oh, right. Okay. Yes. I got those two mixed up.
It's okay. You have a lot on your plate. It's all good. Because we did that last year. We both had the Batman at number 1.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The Batman. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, number 1. Exactly. But I agree with Sean. I'm really looking forward to Scream, and I have every right to walk out of the theater like, what the fuck? But we'll see. We'll see.
Absolutely. By the way, the Sound Painter Studio brings up The Matrix. I love the first film. Really didn't think too much of the second or third films. Haven't thought too much of what I've seen so far for the new Matrix movie. And then I seen like a 30-second TV spot when I got home. And it sort of made me go, that didn't look terrible.
I heard a lot of, like, during Halloween Ends, I heard a lot of sighs during the Matrix trailer. I'm with you. I enjoyed the first one, but outside of that, I didn't really like the other 2. But who knows, man? You just never know.
You never do know. Well, we'll figure out what's coming on Tuesday for Fandom Empire Live. Join us 9 p.m. Eastern. We'll be talking about something and some other good shit. Mike, where can everybody find you at, man?
You can follow me on Twitter at MichaelBish_ and on Instagram at MBish_.
You can support us on Patreon, patreon.com/Fandom Empire. You can follow us on Twitter at Fandom Empire now. Same with on Instagram. Facebook's the Fandom Empire Den. If you're looking for Facebook pages, we got Halloween Newsnet, Halloween Fandom, which our boy Dean Renner runs in the chat. Maybe that's a group. I don't know. Facebook keeps changing their shit. I can't keep up with it. Is it right? Facebook's not even called Facebook anymore. Fuck.
Meta.
Unbelievable.
Meta.
Good night, everybody. See you Tuesday.